Posit here when it comes to releasing tax forms, it doesn't necessarily show your worth. It shows the amount of income or income generated off your investments that has come through in a given year. No way in heck a lot of times you're going to be able to apprise someone's net worth there. So the argument was that by releasing that data, Donald Trump might expose himself to whether he's worth more or less than was thought prior through a tax return or even a series of them. They'd be hard-pressed to do that. However, the message is out there. Release the returns. Let's see what you are all about. Ashley Pratte, Emily Tisch, Sussman, and David Asman. Ashley, is this going to be a big deal? Others have advocated before. It's another issue when the former nominee raises it for whatever political reason, but what do you think?
Nothing's been able to take down Donald Trump yet, and I think this is a clear shot by the establishment, who's in full panic mode right now, and the GOP as a whole, that Donald Trump could be the nominee of the party. And I think this is a very clear shot at Donald Trump, who, you know, right now is still the front runner. The firewall he's built is enormous. He's won 3 early states, and, you know, with winning New Hampshire and South Carolina, there hasn't been a Republican president who has lost the nomination who has been able to do those 2 things. So I think right now, again, GOP is in full panic mode, and this shot by Romney at the front runner is a clear evidence of that. You
know, David, one of the things we got into as the interview ensued is, well, you know, be careful what you wish for, because you, Governor Romney, found out the hard way that even when you try to be transparent on the up and up, you release your returns, it shows a much lower tax rate that was built on capital gains and dividends and all of that, that all of a sudden, to many in the media, made him look like he was getting away with, you know, IRS murder here, when that was not the case. So it's really in the eye of the beholder, right?
It sure is. Well, talk about somebody throwing stones in a glass house. I mean, it's completely inappropriate for a failed nominee to be harping on somebody's tax problem when he himself was very late in coming out with his tax returns. By the way, I should mention the tax returns of Romney, he only released one until just 2 months before the 2012 election, and that return, the 2011 return, showed that he paid just 13.8% in his federal taxes. Now, I don't know about you, Neil, but I paid a lot more than 13.8%. So again, for Mitt Romney to be attacking a member of his own party for not doing something that he had a lot of problems doing seems totally hypocritical to me.
Laura, well, I'm not taking sides here, David. I understand your point here. The 13.8% refers to the perfectly legal lower rate for capital gains and what have you. I think what he was also saying from the interview is that, take it from me, you delay on this kind of stuff, you pay dearly for it. Be that as it may, it's pretty clear to me, Emily, that obviously he wants to do something to sort of zing Donald Trump. Would a tax return, even if it shows Donald Trump might have less money than people think, not easy to prove in a tax return, or that he doesn't give nearly as much to charity, maybe military causes, just to embarrass him, would that move the needle, you think?
Look, they're certainly trying. They're putting everything on the table, and there is no one that knows that better than Romney, who really did have a lot of trouble after he released his returns. For Romney, the problem was relatability. That his message on the campaign trail had been that he understood the working man. But then once his tax returns were released, it showed that he was actually in a very different situation. For Trump, I actually think it's a pretty different situation where just nobody can get anything to stick. There's no way to attack him so far because he doesn't prove anything. He doesn't back anything up.
You know, actually, could I step back for no, good points all. It could be just me, but I don't notice near the same zeal for Democrats to release their taxes, even very wealthy Democrats. I mean, think about it. Bill and Hillary Clinton made more money in the last few years, certainly, than did Mitt and Romney. But having said that, there does seem to be a sort of a one-way zeal here. Go after the rich guy, be it the guy who ran 4 years ago as a Republican nominee, or now the guy who could be the nominee. If they're rich, you know, claw through everything. What do you think?
Well, that's what's so...
Yeah, go ahead, Ash.
Oh, that's what's so fascinating about this, Neil, is Mitt Romney was demonized for his wealth back in 2012, and he really did struggle with that. Trump hasn't been demonized so far until now by the former GOP nominee. So that's what makes this very interesting. But you bring up a brilliant point when it comes to Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders. I mean, he's even accepted some money as well, even though he's against the billionaires. But Hillary Clinton has taken so much money from Wall Street. She's charged public universities upwards of $500,000 for a paid speech and coup d'etat to top it all off. So she really is the establishment.
Like, she's acknowledged that.
Yeah,
that's out
but
there.
Emily, the point is she can't be for the middle working class when she is jeopardizing them at every step by taking money from Wall Street.
There's another thing here, Neil, there's another thing, if I can just weigh in. There's another thing, which is that Trump has already won. He's preempted this whole debate by saying time and again he prides himself on the fact that he pays as little in taxes as possible because he doesn't want the government to have it.
Just yesterday morning.
So he could be hurt if it turns out he paid more than he should have paid in his taxes. So I think this is just a tempest in a tea storm. I think my other panelists are absolutely right. This shows the desperation of the Republican establishment to go after one of their own for something that they had problems with, and Trump has already preempted the whole thing by saying not only that he paid taxes, but greed is good.
What's wrong with getting that out there now? Because you know others are going to make a big deal of it later.
That's a good point.
I agree with you. When you get tax returns out, it's a zero-sum game. They'll find something to whine about. In the effort of being transparent, they'll question how much you gave to charity. They'll question whether you were tithing or not. You can't win on the left or the right with this. All I'm saying is I find it disproportionate going after the right on this issue.
He should get it out soon. He should get it out soon.
That's all I'm saying.
He should definitely get it out soon.
If we're talking about transparency, though, and Emily, you might have something to say about this, why is it that Hillary Clinton hasn't been transparent about her emails and everything else, but yet nothing sticks to her because she's just completely fine and doesn't have to suffer any of these blows?
I think it's sticking to her a little bit.
Have
we not talked about her emails for multiple years? I think we may. I think that may have been litigated.
But yes, if we're going to go after Trump's wealth, we should go after her lies and transparency.
That's a whole nother show. In fact, that's David's whole show. But guys, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
We shall see.